We're in crypto. We're here for the gains, right? Anyways, pre-halving rally, Litecoin surges 43% to 6-month high. Shout out to my good friend and fellow YouTuber Tom Crown, because he is a big Litecoin stan, and he is now being vindicated. So it looks like Litecoin has rallied over 43% from $55 to $79 this month, and price is up approximately 28% in the past 24 hours, posted a 35% increase on the weekly, and 1.46 billion was added to the Litecoin market cap in a week, around 1 billion of capital inflow emerging in the last 24 hours. And a little bit of a fun note over here, Litecoin flipped Sol in market cap yesterday, which I think is pretty interesting to watch. I feel like Litecoin is the underdog of the industry. So super cool. I think we will continue to see a bullish rally. I don't know this for sure. I didn't get a chance to check before we went live, but I think you can mine Litecoin with Dogecoin. And if that is true, and I hope Will can fact check me on this, if not, that's kind of going to be a very important fundamental aspect, especially for Litecoin, because we all know who bought Twitter and who loves Dogecoin.
I can fact check you, but I don't need to, because it's correct. You can. It's merge mining there, which is pretty cool. And a lot of people who are mining those two assets during the last bull run made quite a bit of money. But right now, Litecoin's pumping. So that's notable for sure. I think it does go back to sort of that halving thesis, which with Bitcoin is a big deal. Every 4 years we see halving. A lot of people look to that as like the next price pusher. We'll see if that comes true. Like Bitcoin's trading around 16K right now, which is like down 75% plus from all-time highs. Might have to wait another 2 years before we see anything if you do subscribe to that halving thesis. I want to point out two other stories that are actually sort of just in the token realm right now, and that's Curve USD. Curve is basically a stablecoin app on DeFi applications, and they just announced a new white paper for their own stablecoin that they're going to launch. That pushed Curve, the native token for the Curve application, up quite a bit yesterday. So there's some price action around that. And then secondly, Aave, which is another DeFi application, announced some new specifications for its GHO stablecoin, which also brought some price action to Aave. Interesting to see those two projects launch. Right now, you can look at all these tokens, and there's a lot out there. A lot of them have drawn down like 80% plus. But I do think in this cycle, this 2021, 2022 bull bear cycle, we're going to see some tokens stick around that a lot of times would have washed out otherwise. So I think it's cool to see like Curve USD launch a new product, or Curve launch Curve USD, and then Aave also keep pushing forward with new products. Litecoin still hanging around, but I'm excited to see some of these other projects keep booting up. Jen, over to you.
Yeah, when I read this headline, I was like, oh, what? We're talking about Litecoin. Let me go onto Twitter and see what people are saying. And I came across that Michael Saylor clip. He was on a Twitter Spaces suggesting that Litecoin is the new Bitcoin. It is the new digital commodity that people should be paying attention to. And then some other tweets I saw were referencing reports of on-chain data suggesting that people are hodling Litecoin, and that people are seeing Litecoin as a beacon of stability amongst all of the instability we're seeing in the space. Wendy, I wanted to get your opinion on that. Is that why we're seeing this price movement, or is this just like Twitter chatter and noise?
I honestly think that mining economics are very, very important. Again, I'm not an expert on that. It's way over my head, but I think that that's something that a lot of traders and a lot of investors don't pay attention to, is mining economics and how those work, because you generally do get positive price action during specific dates, especially when it comes to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is still operating on a 4-year cycle until proven otherwise. You can go back and you can look at the charts. But when it comes to Litecoin, another interesting fundamental aspects of it is the fact that it was one of the coins that was listed on Coinbase like way back when, like 2017, 2018. And I feel like every single brand new exchange that pops up, you always have like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. Those are always the 3 coins that are listed there. And we haven't had a whole lot of chatter from the SEC or other regulatory bodies in the US about Litecoin being a security or not. So I do know that their foundation is a great group of people, and they're working towards building really cool things in the future with Litecoin. But at the same time, it's a tight-knit community, and people just absolutely absolutely love Litecoin. So shout out to anybody that's making money. The only thing I'm going to ask of you guys is please consider taking profit. Things tend to continue to go down, and we are operating in a 4-year cycle until proven otherwise. And please use cold storage.
I'll take the other opinion on that. I think this Litecoin pump, it might be something to do with the mining economics. And I do agree on the trading part that I think a lot of traders don't look at the mining economics, and it's important to note that because everything has some sort of tail emission. But I think what we're seeing here is just a classic case of it's a bear market, a random token catches some sort of fundamental traders look at, and then the price pumps because of it. And it makes sense, right? Like Litecoin, a lot of these other coins, they have very thin liquidity. They're going to pop when someone just tweets about it or when someone brings it up. Litecoin's been around for a very long time and sort of like this beloved meme within crypto, very much so like Doge. It's just kind of like the silver to Bitcoin's gold. And I think that's why you see people still talk about it. But I don't see it as anything that you just mentioned there, Jen, with like Michael Saylor talking about it as some sort of like unit of stability within crypto. For the most part, it's even been treated by its founders as some sort of testnet for Bitcoin, or that's the way they've tried to brand it. And it has to some degree. They've added some implementations like SegWit earlier than Bitcoin did in order to like prove it and test it. That being said, there is some like cool stuff going on with Litecoin. They're trying to add like Mimblewimble, which is like a privacy tech. So there's some other things going on there that make it unlike Bitcoin in a few regards. But for the most part, I would just say like this story, illiquid token, caught some sort of attention, maybe because of the halving, and now it's trading up a little bit. But Wendy, I want to hear some rebuttal to that.
Leave the Litecoin community alone. I will protect them at all costs.
Wendy, how many communities are you protecting at all costs?
As many as I can. Do you want to know why? Is because I support positive competition. I support people going head to head, duking it out, and creating. Will, don't look at me like that. I see that snarky smirk on your face. I'm in mom mode right now.
Say the Litecoin community. I mean, it's as alone as ever. Even their founder left it. So I just like I don't know. I think it's a little.
Leave the people alone.
Yeah.
Listen. This is the thing. If you're working to create something to push Bitcoin to do something better than what it already is, and sorry guys, I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, but basically positive competition, especially with altcoins, forces Bitcoin developers to do better and to create better things. So again, I like all these different communities. I like altcoins. I think that there's a lot of great projects out there that are forcing the positive competition, and we need to encourage people to continue to build. That's all I'm going to say, and I'll protect the Litecoin community at all costs, even though I think I sold all of it. I don't remember.
All right. Well, Will, thank you for debunking the random information I get on Twitter, as you always do, just keeping us straight on this show.